Susan Herbers. When I was taking commission training a few years ago, Sue Herbers was still city clerk, and she mentioned about the fact that how the city employees hadn't gotten any pay raises in a while, in a few years, but this was back in the Clinton economy. And here's a woman making $135,000 complaining about not pay raises, and I said, not loud enough for her to hear, I said, neither have the taxpayers gotten a pay raise. Mm-hmm. And so she seems to be a little bit out of touch with what with the rest of us. So
what's this you're talking about?
Susan Herbers, who's Sharon's opponent.
Oh.
Yeah. So Sharon, take it away.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claude.
Thank you, Claude. Thank you for allowing me to meet with you tonight. And my name is Sharon Kalani. For those of you that I haven't had the honor of meeting, I am running for Torrance City Council, District 4. Some of you have endorsed me already, so thank you very, very much. I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm just going to introduce myself a little bit more in depth and then talk to you about why I'm running and talk to you about what we need to do together to win that seat at that table, because we need it. I grew up as the youngest of 4 children in a Hispanic family that had moved into a non-Hispanic neighborhood. Now think about that. That was in the 60s. We had "Go Back to Mexico" written on our door of our garage. I had to come home and ask my dad, what does spit mean? I always called it spit. So along with that, my father from time to time could be physically and emotionally abusive. So what did I learn through all of that? I learned to overcome challenges, and I learned to do and be diplomatic. So that kind of speaks a little bit to some people that have said you have no political experience, and some of those people that have said you need to work your way up in politics with commissions and things like that. Let's move on to something else. So then that same father passed away when I was 17. So I entered the workforce, sometimes working 3 jobs at once to have a meal the next day. Started at an entry-level teller position at a major bank, retired as a senior vice president managing one of the largest banks on the West Coast. So I learned hard work. I learned to be not afraid to take on new responsibilities, and I had to have the highest ethics possible to be in a position like that. Finally, I am a mom. I have 2 daughters that are amazing, a husband. I took care of my mother, and I lived 30 years with my mother-in-law. So if I didn't learn diplomacy, problem solving, crisis management, I don't think anything can top that. Then finally, what have I done in this city? Since I lived here since 1981, I lived in District 4 since 1996. I have served on the board and supported the Torrance South Bay YMCA since 1996. The last 3.5 years, I was chairperson of the board of managers. When I accepted that position, I was scared to death. It was one of the largest Ys in the United States, and it needed to continue to provide the premier community services that it always had. We did a couple of things. And Mike is on the board as well. We work together as a team. We increased subsidy for people that can't afford to pay to over $1.5 million a year. We did that through fundraising. We served 55,000 meals to senior citizens right next door. But one of the big things for me was to help people understand the Y was more than a swim and gym. We also, I wanted it to be a point that there's so many organizations locally that are doing all the same thing, but yet nobody's working together. So you've got all these people running like a little hamster on a wheel. When people start coming together, we get more done. So we had a wonderful opportunity to do that, and we did that very successfully. So our city actually needs to do more of that as well. So why am I, oh, and by the way, I also did hospice for Torrance Memorial Medical Center, and I believe in SCROC. SCROC is an important entity in our city because not every child is academic. Some children learn best by hands-on vocational learning. So I supported them as well. So why am I running for Torrance City Council? Again, I moved into Torrance in 1981. In the last 10 years, I have had people knock on my door, and when my 90-year-old mother-in-law didn't answer the door, they jumped my fence, and they came into the back door. The screen door was open, they started to open it, and that little lady looked at them and said, "Why are you here? Get out of my house. I'm calling the police," and the guy ran off. So it was just a come through the back, break in, take stuff, go. I've had graffiti on my walls. I've had homeless people walk up when I get home from work at 11 o'clock at night and scare the living daylights out of me. I watched just 2 days ago, my neighbor's garage get broken into. This is not supposed to be happening in our city. So some people like Aurelio, Councilmember Matucci, Chen, my friend Mike Griffiths, they care. They all want our city to be safe. They all want our city to stay beautiful. I've had concrete dumped on the side of my house, illegal dumping. No, I'm not kidding. I looked at it, I can check it all off. And I got one more for you. I had a car I bought in September, and during the rains in January, I hit a pothole on Sepulveda Boulevard. My car was in the shop for 4 months while I ordered new wheels from Italy. New wheels from Italy for my car. So
you get for getting an Alfa Romeo.
yeah, that's what I get for getting an Alfa Romeo. Oh, and the engine mounts all collapsed. So they had to order those parts too. So, our city needs help. Our city needs help. So that's why I'm running. I actually spent a couple of years looking for a home outside the city of Torrance, but at the end of the day, I love my city. My city's been wonderful for me since 1981. My children grew up in the Torrance School District. So I love Torrance, and that's why I'm here. So instead of sitting back and complaining about it, I'm going to do something about it. My platform is your voice. I want to hear from each and every one of you. I want to hear what you have to say, and what that means is there's not a personal agenda. This isn't about me. I didn't take running for this position lightly. I thought about it for a long time. People asked me to run in 2018, and I wasn't ready yet, because it wasn't fair to divide my time between the YMCA and here. They both deserve 100% commitment, which I'm ready to give. So what I need from all of you is that we come together and we win that seat in Torrance on March 3rd, 2020. So I need support. I have a grassroots campaign because I'm a hardworking person still putting kids through college. So I need financial support, I need people walking and calling, whatever you can do is helpful. I've got a lot of my cards here tonight. They've got information to my website and the Facebook page. So do what you can, I would be forever grateful. Yes, sir.
You take cash donations.
I think $20 is the maximum.
$20?
Yeah, you want like.
$20 maximum.
Thank you, yes.
What area of Torrance
Living in
is
a cave or something.
Thank you so much. District 4 is east of Sepulveda, west of Western, south to Momita, and north to 190. So it takes in southeast Torrance, Old Torrance, and all the way down to the tank farm of the refinery. So thank you.
Will you join with your colleagues to take on Senate Bill 54?
What was the question?
Will you join with your colleagues to take on Senate Bill 54?
Yes, I would.
Good.
You got my support then.
So are you gonna allow Torrance PD to cooperate with immigration custom enforcement, the ICE agent?
I'm going to ask someone to repeat that for me, because I do have a hearing impairment and it involves noises mixing. I couldn't understand.
Are you gonna allow Torrance PD to cooperate with the ICE agent? I mean, immigration custom enforcement agent.
I am not for sanctuary cities.
That's good.
I support her.
Thank you so much for raising. I do believe that immigration needs major reform. Thank you.
Do you,
I am pro Proposition
you're for
13.
are you for the spirit of Proposition 13?
Yes, I am. I am a homeowner. I think Proposition 13 needs to stay.
Because you know, in the state, they're wanting to get rid of it.
I do know that.
They sure do. We're gonna turn it into New Jersey if we do that.
Thank you.
Yes,
What is your position on rent control?
Similar to Mr. Chen, I am a homeowner. I am not in the state of California, but I am a landlord. And I think it's more important to provide opportunities for people to be successful in their lives. And that includes being a homeowner and a landlord, being able to demand the rents appropriate for the building that they own. I do not agree with rent.
I guess for both you and Mr. Chen, it was talked about the housing market, and I am a home, in fact, I own 2 homes in Torrance, and I believe that the sale of the home, they're too expensive. And I know being a homeowner, I should be happy, but my children cannot afford to buy a home. So I think our prices they're ridiculous to buy a home in Torrance. It's a good area. We want more families to be able to come in, and renting won't always bring the solid families that are gonna stay. I've unfortunately had to go to the city council, the chamber there, 3 occasions, because I live in the R2 lot zone of North Torrance. And unfortunately, we have a lot of Middle Easterners that come in and they buy the property that's run down, and they build their multi-units, 2-3 units on there, and they flip them. They tell the city people that they're gonna live there, and they don't, so they're being very dishonest, and they rent them out. So I've got to talk about the parking, because when this continues to repeatedly be allowed on a matter of 2 to 3 streets, where there's 5 properties, multi-units being built, and we're all trying to park on the street, it's an issue. And we've been shot down every time. So I'm hopeful that things can change in that regards.
And I think it's interesting you bring that up, because multi-unit dwellings and the addition of these large multi-unit buildings, it's a very fine balance. It's a very fine balance. It's something that is a case-by-case basis, in my opinion, depending upon the environment surrounding it. But we do need to be more careful in looking at things like that, and I agree with you 100%.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What an opportunity. I appreciate it so very much. Thank you.